Monday. First arm workout since the British. So it's not going to be crazy heavy. I'll be doing quite a lot of probably cable exercises, just so my joints don't have to get too much of stress too soon after the show because of obviously hydration and whatnot. I'm feeling pretty good. So hopefully there's a fair bit of weight on the cables, but like I said, I'm going to avoid a lot of free weights today, just so my body gets that recovery, because I'll probably be fine by next week. But it's literally, today is the 16th, I believe, and the show was on the 12th, so don't want to risk too much. So we're going to get into it, do a couple of supersets on my triceps first. A really nice way to warm them up. Everyone says the same thing, but it does make sense. Straight bar, reverse grip, and then overhead, so it's actually a giant set, 15 on each, 4 sets. We're going to get straight into this.
This is Dave Palumbo with RxMuscle.com in the Iron Asylum with James Hollingshead. We are 1 week after the 2014 British Nationals. We're doing a little arm training here at Metroflex Gym in London, England. Welcome, James.
Well, hello, Dave. First thing, thank you for having me. Little bit choked, sorry, because it's a big opportunity to get online and talk to yourself. So just thank you from me, from the bottom of my heart. Cheers.
You did fantastic in this last British Nationals, which may have been one of the most competitive of all time. You won the super heavyweight class. You lost the overall to our good friend Nathan, who was on the Heavy Muscle Radio show last week. Now, like I said, I've seen British Nationals that weren't good. I've seen ones that were great. This happened to be one of the best ones I've seen in a very long time.
Yeah, I think the standard as a whole was a lot higher than the last few years. There was a lot of good names going into this show. A lot of people did, exceed and reach expectations. Some people didn't. But as a whole, there was definitely a lot of good people going into this one, and I think it does reflect in the overall lineup.
Now, Nathan Sylvester, who won the overall, the heavyweight and the overall title, and then he was originally supposed to be a super heavy, as was Sas Harati, who was second in the heavyweight class. When you saw those guys dropping down, did you figure you had a good chance of winning that super heavyweight?
I went into this with the mind state of I'm against Nathan Sylvester, so I was battling to fight Nathan anyway. He's a friend of mine. I know his physique because he was one of my inspirations when I was younger. So I was prepared. And I would have given it my all against anyone. But I was very happy that he did drop a weight category. Sass, either way, here or there, I don't know what my physique would be like next to his because I haven't had it next to his yet. But Nathan was the best man on the day, and I was happy that I at least got to stand in the overall next to him.
Now, how old are you?
25.
Okay, because you said when you were coming up, Nathan was your inspiration. Nathan hasn't been around that long either. He's a young guy as well, but you're younger, obviously.
Yes. Nathan was a junior Mr. Britain holder 2 years before I won my junior Mr. Britain as well. So he was the predecessor. He was the man I looked to and thought I need to follow him. Yeah, so it's really good.
Next on the list, so to speak. Now it seems like there's a pretty standard way of getting your pro card or going through the ranks in Great Britain. Basically, you win the juniors, and then you go on to win the British Nationals, kind of what Flex Lewis did. Everyone seems to take that same road. There's no other way to get your pro card pretty much in England, right?
Yeah, we're really limited because obviously we only have one national contest, which is, held once yearly. So you literally got to grind yourself, grind you as hard as you can and peak for that show. Obviously, it's only once a year, so you want to try and improve on your placings from year to year, but it's hard to go from being a junior straight to an open class winner as quick as you can. But it's definitely the way that it goes. You can win the junior, which shows you've got dedication. You can win an open class, which shows you've got consistency. And then if you can win the overall, it shows that you really did put your work in and you were in it for the long run. So yeah, it's the natural way of doing things. But like I say, one show, so you have to really work your ass off and give it your all over the years.
Why do you think they don't have another option, another pro qualifier at some point during the year? Do you think is that ever discussed?
We all throw it in the air. We all speak about it. I think that's why this year, I don't know if you heard, but they're putting the Amateur Olympia in Liverpool.
Oh, they are? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's going to be a week or so after the British Nationals. So
perfect.
That is kind of what you think. Why didn't they do that why couldn't we have something like that more often? Because there's going to be a lot of people in good shape. at that British finals, and they're going to hold it for a week. And there is more than one person a year that is standard enough, good enough standard to be a professional. Bottom line.
Absolutely.
So it's a shame when you're getting one person turn professional, and the others all have to wait again for another year, and there's no other route for them.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
you don't know what's
especially
going to
weight,
happen a year later.
especially
Yeah,
with weight classes, because the lighter weight class guys will never turn pro, basically, under that system.
Basically, yes. Because let's be real, not it's the real world of bodybuilding. It's always the bigger guy. It's always the heavyweights and the super heavyweights. So it's unfortunate for the smaller guys to not be put in a position where they can actually obtain pro status as well. So
especially with the 212 division now, you would think they'd have maybe an under 200 and over 200 pro card or something like that.
Oh God, definitely. If you looked at this British just gone, and you looked at the middleweight winner, a fella called James Watts.
Sure.
And you look at how good his physique was. I swear, Dave, condition, probably the best in the overall, even better than mine, better than Nathan's.
Wow.
And balance was fantastic. It's just that he's the smaller guy. So he's missing out because of that. But if you gave him an opportunity at another show that's pro qualifying with other people of his size, he'd do very well. So why not?
Now you work with Coach Nathan Harmon, who I had on the radio last week. I've been doing a lot of UK promotion lately.
Yeah, no, I had to listen to that. He's a funny chap. I love listening.
Yeah, it was very good. Now he how did you meet up with him and start working with him?
All right, Nathan, I've known since his beginning. I've known him since 2011. So when he, like he said, he only had Sean Tavernier back then, and I was in touch with him, happy to work with him. Only thing was I was young, stupid, spent too much money on other things, didn't really have the finances. So yeah, it was just me being young, thought I could do it myself, thought I'd carry the world on my shoulders. Took a few years, trained, and every time I'd done the British and whatnot between times, he was like, you should work for me, mate. And I was like, well, it will come. And luckily this year, about 4 months before, the finals, so 16 weeks out, we actually decided to just stick it through and make it happen. And it happened, and it happened good. So
what would you say was the most important change that he made in your, I guess, your program or your preparation for the show that you hadn't been doing before?
So for me, it was 100% the belief in how much I can eat and still get in shape. So he likes to give you a lot of food. He'll tell you that now. He gives you a lot of food, makes you do a lot of cardio. And in the past, I would be told not to do that from people that have been doing bodybuilding for a long time. And you always tend to go to the people who've been doing it a long time, because you think the longer they've been doing it, the more they know. But it's new school. There's new school bodybuilding, and people always learning. And Nathan is not, complicated in the talk, in the slightest. He'll tell you that. But he managed to keep my food a lot higher, my fat's a lot higher, even my carbohydrates a lot higher, made me do more cardio. I was 1.5 kilos heavier than last year, better condition. Everything that I was asking for came to light. So, perfect prep really. I've got no bad words to say about the fella. He's he done a good job, and I'm very happy to.
How much cardio was a lot of cardio were you doing?
2 hours. 2 hours a day.
Okay.
So pretty much every day. So for me, that's a lot, because I've only ever done an hour in the past, with another 20 minutes, say, somewhere else in the day.
Was it low intensity cardio?
Yeah, low intensity, which worked really well. But last year, when I've prepped before, I've done hit cardio. But low intensity works. For me, it works a treat.
I always thought so too. I'm a big advocate of low intensity, because I think high intensity burns muscle. That's just
it does, and that's the only way I can say. Look, this year I was heavier and better conditioned, so I must have preserved more of what I put on in the off season. And bearing in mind, I only started actually dieting with Nathan for the 16-week out mark, so I didn't even have an off season with Nathan. Wow. So this year we've got an off season together now, and obviously his aim and my aim is now to go from being first in my class to obviously professional by the next October, I suppose.
So you have every intention, I guess, of doing both the British Nationals and the Amateur Olympia if necessary.
100%. If I go to that British, and I'll give it all I've got. If I can walk away with a pro card there, fantastic. If I don't, then believe me, I'm coming to that Arnold Amateur, not the Arnold Amateur, the Olympia Amateur, and I'm going to do some damage if I can, because why waste an opportunity like that? It's not going to come around a lot. So definitely hit that out, definitely.
What are you weighing on stage at this point?
I was 105.4, which is in pounds, 233 pounds. Okay. So, I'm one of the lighter super heavyweights, to be fair, but I'm also one of the shorter. Even I'm 5'11", we had some big freaks this year, like some, 6'2", 6'3" monsters. So I'm not the heaviest, so there's plenty of room to put some muscle on, and that's what the aim is really now. It's fill the frame out, just keep maturing, because obviously age is a little bit of a factor.
Right.
So I haven't got as much density as some of the older guys, but it's getting there slowly but surely.
What do you see in the UK as far as, in the United States, men's physique has become a very popular division, and I see a lot of the younger guys, even the very talented younger guys that could be great bodybuilders, going into men's physique because it's easier. They can turn pro relatively quickly. There's a lot more pro cards available, and I feel like we're losing some of the talent to that division. It seems like in the UK, you guys still have pretty good bodybuilding talent going into bodybuilding, especially young guys like yourself. What would make you say want to be a bodybuilder as opposed to a men's physique guy?
I think I get this all the time. I'm in the gym all day. I train people. The men's physique for me, I don't, I have no problem against it at all. But it's how obtainable it is. You can obtain that look in a lot shorter time frame. And I'm someone that's more about progression and graft. And if it takes you like a year to 2 years to get really good at being a men's physique guy, then it's not really a long-term goal. Whereas bodybuilding, you're not going to be as good as you want to be ever. And that's why it's so much more interesting, because there is no end goal. You're going to keep going until you're the best you can be. And there's no cap on it. You don't put a cap on it. You just want to continue improving. Whereas, like, say, 2 years down the line of training as a physique guy, you pretty much peak. You're at your best. You're not allowed to put on no more muscle because you'll be too big for the class. So where do you go from there? You've got to go bodybuilding, haven't you? You've got to go bodybuilding.
What would you say in the UK is more popular at this point? Is bodybuilding still more popular than men's physique?
I think it's very 50-50, to be fair, because I've been to a few shows lately, and sometimes the crowd is really going for the bodybuilding, sometimes the crowd's going for the men's physique. But from ticket sales, I'd say the men's physique. The British finals, majority of tickets sold there is probably for the men's physique.
Wow. So
and like you say, and it's like you say, the pro cards are easier to get. They give a pro card to a men's physique guy there, and they'll give a pro card to a men's physique guy at pretty much every amateur show, that's done in Spain or Ohio. They earn more pro cards than the bodybuilders, definitely. So, people know that it's a good stepping stone, especially if they're thinking business wise. They want to be a professional or something. That's a good thing to have attached to your resume. So, yeah, definitely. If you're an IFBB pro, it doesn't sound too bad on your CV, does it? So
sure,
definitely.
Now, let's fantasize for a minute. Let's say you turn pro next year. What would in your mind? I know we all think about this at some point when we're competing. What would be the ultimate pro show for you to start with? Like, if you had to get your pro card, what would you like to debut? Where would you like to debut your pro status at?
So debut, I think you've got to go out there and you've got to test the waters. I don't think it's much good standing here and doing the British Grand Prix if it comes about, because I think you're not really putting yourself in the pond. Sure. With the big fish, you're just playing around. And to be fair, when I've seen the British Grand Prix here, it's good. They are great. Don't get me wrong, but it's not as depth for your lineup as what you will be having to face if you go to international waters. So it's about going to America, isn't it, or one of the Canadian shows, any of them shows. To be fair, where the lineup is a bit depthier, you need to really know where you stand. There's no point, you want to be a good bodybuilder. Why are you not going to test yourself? So
I agree.
Yeah, go in there, get your feet wet. And I think I would love to do, any of the shows, to be fair. And then hopefully, the long term, you want to do something like the Arnold and you want to do the Olympia. So you don't really want to stop. There's no there's no end to it. It's keep striving.
Well, it looks like you got a very bright future ahead of you. We're looking forward to seeing you obviously get that IFBB Pro card, and you'll keep us updated and have a great off-season training with Nathan. And good luck to you.
Definitely. Thank you very much. Going to get a lot of off-season footage, so I'll be in touch if there's anything of any interest to you guys. And
absolutely. We're going to be tracking your progress.
Yeah, definitely. Dave, thank you for your time, mate. And thank you. Really good speaking to you. Look after yourself.
For now, we are out of time. I'm Dave Palumbo with the James Hollingshead in the Iron Asylum. Good interview, man. Thanks, man.
Thank you, man. Cheers, man. Awesome. Thanks a lot.
Appreciate you taking the time to call us, and we'll get this up probably early next week, okay?
Yeah, thank you very much, Dave.
All right,
hopefully speak to you again in the future.
Absolutely.
to keep us on